So in today's video, guys, we've got another episode battle. We're gonna do a playthrough series that we've got here. As you can see, at this stage here, I will be taking on the Freezer Saga, right? So obviously he does a little cutscene here, which is again, I do like these little cutscenes. I've seen a few people complain about it because they wish it was a bit longer, but I can sort of understand this, right? Because obviously they want to speed it up. Now, this first part here I should mention is the what if story, right? So there is a what if version in the Freezer one. And basically, to get that, you do have to go Super Saiyan against Vegeta, right? So obviously I got a video up for that, but obviously with these what if stories, some of these stages don't actually have the what if versions, and some of them do. So if I remember correctly how to do it, to get the Super Saiyan for Vegeta, all you have to do is make sure you fight with Piccolo, right? That's the first step, obviously in the episode battle. So fight with Piccolo, and then defeat Raditz by yourself. Well, not by yourself, but make sure you defeat Raditz and don't let Piccolo help, right? Because once you go down that route, then you can also go down, like, taking on Vegeta that way, right? Mainly because, obviously, doing it that way, how do I describe it? Like, how I would say they do it in the what if story is because, obviously, Goku doesn't die. He can actually train in the normal world, right? So he can sort of train up, prepare. So that's sort of what happens, right? Then obviously Goku has to take on other different fights, which he didn't do, obviously, in the original side of the story. So it is fairly interesting. I do really like these what if stories. It's very interesting about, like, you know, exactly, you know, what if could have happened. But I won't spoil it just yet because we will get to see coming up in this video what happens in this what if. It's very interesting to say the least, right? And it is confusing, but I do want to see what happens on the Vegeta side of things, right? When we do take on the Vegeta episode battles. Because if it sort of ties into what happens in the Goku one, that would be really sick to see, right? But yeah, again, we'll show in a minute. I think we'll slowly come up to it. You'd have this little fight here, which, yeah, again, it isn't too hard to do. These fights. Basically, some of these fights I've had to redo. Like, you know, retry again. I haven't changed the difficulty, you know, I've kept it on, you know, normal, or, yeah, everyone I've kept it on normal, but, yeah, most of them I have died, but there is sort of strategies to sort of defeat them, right? So, the ones that are a lot harder, for example, I'll give one, is, the Freezer fight, right, which we'll show you later on. The Freezer fight, I think, took me 2 or 3 times, I think it was about 2 times before I got it, and by the way, here's the what if, Vegeta does go Super Saiyan, right, which you do have to fight, and yet again, I did actually have to, yeah, I actually lost to Vegeta the first time and I had to do it again. Because depending on the bosses, I'd say, or depending on the characters, is they have different styles of fighting, right? So, for example, with Great Vegeta, you know, he just constantly has energy to keep blasting you over and over again, right? So, obviously the strategy there is you can either try really hard to beat him the normal way, like you usually fight, but how I typically did it was sort of stay back, charge up my full ki, and then sort of attack that way. And just do like Kamehamehas from a long distance so he can't hit you. Or you can try and Beam Clash, or probably which do a fair bit of damage as well. But I find just like standing a bit back and sort of just doing Kamehamehas is pretty good. Vegeta, basically how I did it is you have to be very good with your timing and your dodges, right? We'll see in a minute, but you really have to get... I guess what the game tries to do is make you get good really fast. That's why I think they made the Vegeta fight, the Great Vegeta fight, so hard. Just because they want you to start adapting to the controls, the timing of the game, sort of thing. So as you can sort of see here, right, you have to be really fast. Like, obviously, even on my second attempt, I wasn't quite fast enough. Because you still have to get used to, like, you know, your blocking, your dodging, you know, instant transmission, stuff like that. So it's a lot to sort of wrap your head around. That's why, for me, I still haven't done PvP just yet. I want to do all the episode battles first, because obviously you take on, even though it's a CPU, you're still learning the controls along the way, getting used to it, sort of thing. You know, I could just realistically jump into PvP, do it that way, but I find it more enjoyable to do it in the story mode, because, I mean, it wouldn't be frustrating PvP as such, but at least doing this you get to see cool little cutscenes here and there. You know, if I just did PvP straight out, I would just be getting flogged all the time, like getting destroyed. I mean, probably not, I'd probably be okay. But, you know, if I was still struggling with controls and getting destroyed, it's obviously not as fun as doing these little cutscenes, right? Where I'm doing these what ifs. Even though some of these what if stories are hard, you know, the battles, it's still very interesting to see, or see and hear the dialogue of what they say. because I think there is information here that they do tell us that they haven't actually really specified in the anime, as I can tell. Or even in the manga, right? So it is very interesting. That's why I really like these episode battles. And even though I don't know for sure, but I do think it'd be a very good idea, is actually add more of these episode battles in the future. Obviously, it doesn't have to be now because the game's only just released. But I think more of these episode battles would be really cool to see, because a lot of people are really enjoying it. Even though it's just basically story mode and not like proper PvP, it's still very interesting to see the animations, what could have happened if this, this and this happened. So it is very good, right? But that's also why I really love the custom battles, which I haven't quite done yet, because like I said, I'm still trying to get all these playthroughs done, guides and that as well. But I do plan on doing like my own custom battle very soon. Hopefully by the end of the week I'll probably have one hopefully made. But I do plan on doing a series where I take on other people's custom battles, right, and do that for a video. So I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I think I might make my own challenges here and there, because I think, again, the custom battles, you can pretty much do, infinite choices, right, which is one of the best things about it. So as you can see, I did defeat Vegeta. It was pretty hard, as you can see, but we eventually got it done. And I'm pretty sure doing these what if stories are actually very, I say beneficial, or I guess say beneficial, because you actually do unlock characters. And I think from defeating Vegeta here in this what if story, you actually unlock Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Now, obviously you can buy him in the shop, but obviously unlocking a character for free is definitely way better. But I did see somewhere, which I'm not really too sure if it's 100% accurate or not, but I think there actually is a drop character percentage on each of these fights as well, right? So even though you could just like a normal, let's just say normal offline battle, I think there is a chance you can get a character. I haven't had that happen to me. The only ways I've had it happen to me where I got a character drop was from doing the world tournaments and that, because you can do like the offline world tournament, stuff like that. So that's the only ways I've actually unlocked the character, and that's from actually beating the final. So I'm not too sure, right? By the way, this Vegeta looks really good in this animation here. But this is what I sort of meant, right? I didn't want to quite give it away just yet, in case you're, watching this live. So I think you didn't know what happened to What If. But what I meant was, basically Frieza here, the reason why we don't see Frieza in this What If story is because Vegeta actually defeated him, right? There was no need for Goku to obviously fight him, because Vegeta did it already. So that's what I find it interesting, because I want to know if when you do the Vegeta side of things, if you get to verse in that way. So as you can see here, I do, complete it, shows there, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And then from this point forward, I go to skip to the next part, right? So this part here is obviously the original story of what happens, obviously, as you can see. But most of these fights you don't actually get to see. You just see little cutscenes, because obviously they focus more on the Goku side of things, right? So, I mean, it would have been pretty cool if you had like a little test dummy in the capsule corp there. It would have been pretty cool to fight in there. But I guess maybe because it's too small of a space, I can't really do the sort of texture designs there. But even these auto animations here, they didn't really have to do it, but it's pretty cool, right? I can't remember, did they show... I'm trying to think if they showed Vegeta's dirty fireworks. I don't think they did show his fireworks, so that's a bit of an L, but I guess at the same time that's most likely in the Vegeta story, right? Which we'll do later on. Even though, I will admit now, these are all pre-recorded, obviously, I'm just doing the audio now. Because depending on how many losses I did, it was going to be very annoying to sort of redo the audio and all that. But, yeah, I think at the moment what I'm up to is a Future Trunks saga on the Goku side, I think. So I'm nearly done the Goku side. I'm not too sure exactly how long all the other ones are. I'm assuming Vegeta's going to be just as long. I think there's Gohan as well. I can't remember all the story modes out. I know there's Goku Black. I'm pretty sure it's Goku Black. I think there's Frieza as well. I feel like there's a few more. But I think someone said there's like a few hours worth. I think like 16 hours of just of this episode battles. Which is pretty ridiculous, like how long it is. Like, I'm not complaining, it's really good. That's just, really good how much content they put into such a mode they didn't really have to do, I would say, for the game to be good. But it just makes the game even better, right? But as you can see here, we did take on Jace here, which he wasn't actually too bad of a fight, I'd say. I think I bet him pretty much first go. I'm still getting used to these controls here, trying to work out what to do. But yeah, I guess the only bad thing there is as well is you do lose a bit of ki there, so you're sort of stuck in a a vulnerable position there. But yeah, Jace wasn't too hard. I don't think we get to fight Berta, if I remember correctly. No, I don't think we did actually. But yeah, I mean, the Spirit Bombs here as well. Try to use, if you're struggling against Jace, try to use the Spirit Bombs, or whenever you can, because the Spirit Bombs do so much damage, it's just really helpful to do and take on. Like I said, even though Jace isn't really that hard to take on, it sort of just helps speeds up these fights a little bit. Even though I felt like this sort of saga here wasn't as long as the other ones, like, the Saiyan saga felt really long compared to this, but I guess because Goku sort of had a few more battles there. So it sort of makes sense, right? But even like, I'm trying to think the other sagas, like one of them only took like 10 minutes to do. Might have been the Beerus saga. I can't remember. One of them only took like 10 minutes, which I was a bit shocked by. But it did make sense, it did fit the storyline, and there wasn't any what ifs in that one. So I guess it all depends. If there's no what ifs, it probably speeds up a fair bit. But I'm really keen on to see what happens in the Tournament of Power arc, right? I haven't seen, any leak. Well, I've seen one leak, which I won't say because I sort of want to save it for a video. But, yeah, I haven't seen any from the Tournament of Power arc, if there's any what ifs in that sort of side of it. So I'm very interested to see, right? Like, I wonder if there's going to be one where, like, Goku just beats Jiren and MUI. If that's going to be one, that would obviously make sense, I would say. But, yeah, again, I haven't seen what happens, so, but I'm hoping that happens, right? Now, as you can see here, Goku just goes, yep, here's your buddy, mate, you want him back? What we've got here as well, yeah, this is the part where he goes back, they'll gather up. Yeah, this is the part where you get to fight Ginyu, isn't it? That's right. Ginyu wasn't too bad, I would say, as well. Bit annoying, because for me, he kept trying to run away a little bit, but he wasn't actually too bad in the end. So, like, yet again, the more you play this game, the episode battles, the more you get to see sort of what I mean, but you have to sort of try and judge your opponent on what they do. Because, like, some of these bosses just give out infinite super attacks and all that. Or if you call them super attacks, or attacks, key blasts, whatever you want to call it. Like, some of them will spam it, some of it will just dodge like crazy, some of them really fast. So obviously, as long as you've understood the show, you can sort of guess. But I guess some of the bosses in here still aren't quite what they are in the show. So you sort of still have to try and guess how they're going to react, sort of thing. But like I said, that's why some of these fights, they take me several attempts. Because obviously they were hard, but I sort of get used to how they sort of played to sort of try and counter that. But as you can see, with all these fights, well, the harder fights going up, they get a lot faster from the get-go. Like, you have to be, as soon as you click start on the fight, you have to be ready no matter what. Whether it's dodge, block, you just have to be ready, otherwise you're just going to get cooked straight off the bat. Which is good, but yeah, it does take... You have to be very quick at this game, which I guess does suck depending on how your gaming skill is. Some games that you might have played before, you're not used to, attacking straight away, dodging, being active from the get-go sort of thing. You might be used to sort of ramping up to that speed. But yeah, Sparking Zero is just like, yeah, nah, straight away, let's go sort of thing, right? Like, it's good. Yeah, I'm not complaining, but it is a skill set you sort of have to try and get used to. And I'm assuming PvP is going to be the same, right? PvP, people are just going to come out, straight away from the start, just come out flying, flying colours, right? But as long as you sort of get that down pat, the game's not too bad. Obviously, the controls you have to get used to, because there's little, like, hidden secret steps now that I've seen on Twitter. Like, there's little hidden secret movements, is right. So I'm still getting used to that, trying to understand how that works as well. But yeah, another reason why I recommend doing your episode battles before you do PvP is, like, obviously the higher level is going to be the better, right? Because you can get more characters that way. So, because I think level 20 is the max, if I remember correctly, for sparking. So, as long as you're level 20 and get all the characters you want, obviously items are very important as well, which I might... Actually, I'll probably do a video talking about items as well. Because I only recently discovered how important items are. Like, for example, with this Goku fight, I use it for Frieza. I don't show it, but I did put it on, which you... Actually, no, I've already cut it out, so you won't be able to see it, but basically there's one of the items you can use is increase your maximum health. And for example, before in the freezer fight, I was just getting absolutely obliterated straight off the bat sort of thing. But when I got the 3-star maximum health, like, I was easily tanking a lot of the things. Not quite tanking, obviously still doing a fair bit of damage, but I could definitely handle a lot more and last a lot longer than what I could have if I didn't have the items. So, yeah, again, I'll probably do a video for that very soon. I think because, like, even though items you might think, yeah, they're only good for PvP, they can actually help out in the episode battles, right? So it's very important to sort of get used to that, work out what to do. But basically with the items, you sort of have to sort of, I guess, judge your opponent. Like, let's say you're really struggling with GOKU with defense, right? Obviously look for equipments that can, or not equipments, with items are going to help with defense, right? So you sort of have to try and, I guess, judge the character. Even if you use, like I said, because I kept losing to Frieza a lot with GOKU, I sort of understood, right, I'm getting hit really hard, let's try and look for maximum HP, right? Then I got that, it was a lot easier to do. Obviously, I put other ones on, like I put, I think it was like Rush Power, I think it's called, Tag Power, stuff like that. So I put a lot on that's going to do more damage as well. But the health thing was what was cooking me the most, so when I got that sorted, I was pretty much set to take on Frieza. So you won't, like I said, you won't see it here because I haven't put it in the clip. But it helped out quite a fair bit. But I'll have a full guide talking about equipments for you very soon. I keep saying equipments, but it's basically, I mean, they're the same thing. Equipments, items, it's all the same thing, but I guess technically they are items. But then, the reason why I didn't buy items straight away as well, is I thought it was like a once-off thing. So as soon as you bought it, you couldn't get any more. But from what I can gather, it's pretty much once you get it, you just keep it, right? Which is obviously insanely good and insanely helpful. I just didn't quite expect it, right? This cutscene is obviously pretty good as well. Even this, I don't know what, I'm going to call it freeze frames, but it sort of like gives you, what would you call it? It's like aura, but it looks like water sort of thing. It's a really cool little effect, which I don't think we've seen in many games before, that I know of. Actually, I don't think I've actually seen this before in any game, now I think about it. I could be wrong, but... we're up to here, so yeah, this is probably a Frieza fight here. The Frieza fight wasn't actually too bad, I don't think, once I got the hang of it. But as you can see, even though I had equipment on, he was still doing a fair bit of damage to me. So, that does sort of suck, right? As we charge up here. Same little thing with Frieza is you sort of want to try and stay as far back as you can, because when he gets like a really good combo, he can hit really hard, right? But if you get a good combo like this as well, you can do a fair bit of damage. So, I mean, I guess most of the characters or most of the bosses you fight are sort of the exact same. You just have to be really careful about how you play it, sort of thing. Because like the closer you get is obviously risky to get combos, but obviously it's easier for you getting the combo as well, so... But I think probably getting the combos, you sort of want to get your purple, like, rush power, I think they call it. Or rush burst, or something like that, right? Once you get that, you can get, like, a really, like, long combo. I think it's, like, 20 or 20 plus. And once you get that, you can obviously use, like, your finishing move, which does just an incredible mess of damage. So I think I actually show it here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so I get a really good hit here, 20 hits, and then obviously I use my attack here, which gets obviously a bit more damage done. Not really an insane amount of damage, but it's enough to sort of help out in this, right? But you can see here that Frieza does have quite a fair bit of attacks, so you see, like, you just want to be really careful. But then make sure you use your boost as well on your attacks. It does give you a lot more damage, obviously. Trying to think what else to sort of give advice for here. As you can see, that sort of attack combo there is what I aim for most of these fights, because it just gets an insane amount of damage, and then at the end you can use your Spirit Bomb or whatever attack you got, in your arsenal. So yeah, as you can see, that you've done that much damage, you just killed Fraser instantly there. So that's sort of what you want to aim for most of these fights, is just really good combos. I think that's probably the key to this game. Once you understand combos, now to sort of get your head around it to get really good combos and most amount of damage, the game's not too bad in the episode battles. You can still get cooked, obviously, but it's really important to sort of keep that in mind, is like combos is important. Obviously dodge and all that other things important as well. But I think that's why I really like this game, is there's so many factors that you sort of have to look out for to sort of improve the game. Where like it would have annoyed me if like, oh yeah, just to get good at the game you have to get one character and you just defeat every unit PvP sort of thing. So I like how like you can literally bring shouts into PvP, and as long as you bring your right skill mine, well like you have the right skill set to win and all that, you can easily be like an MUI GOKU or something like that, right? Well, maybe not easily, but you know what I mean, right? If you get the right tactics right, you can beat pretty much anyone, which is why, you know, I really love this game. It's not dependent on who you have, it's depending on your skill level. By the way, here, the Super Saiyan shots here look absolutely insane here in the cutscene. That's why I'm like really trying to push down to get to the MUI stage, because I really want to see if they bring any transformation and what it looks like to go from UI to MUI, right? That would be sick to see. Yeah, again, like I said, I haven't seen any teasers or anything like that, so I'm not sure what to expect. But I'm pushing hard to get all these content out, right? For the episode battles, try and catch up. Because I don't want to probably... Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should do a trophy video as well once I get Platinum. Which I want to get badly, right? There's a lot of stuff to do in Sparking. You can rush it, but I like to take my time with some of these things just to sort of soak in the moment. If that makes sense. Yeah, I could easily rush it, it's just... For me, it's more enjoyable this way, watching all the cutscenes out. Like, I could skip all this, because obviously I've seen the anime. But, it's enjoying seeing all this, right? Seeing all the dialogue and all that, hearing the voices and that. It's very, I don't know what word I'm looking for here, but it's very pleasing to watch, right, and listen to. Brings back the nostalgia, that's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, this Frieza fight here did take me 2 attempts, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, again, he does a lot of damage straight off the bat, so you sort of want to keep out for that as well. But as you can see, Goku does incredible amounts of damage. And obviously, does a lot here with the Super Kamehameha. Like this, the artwork there just looks... Not the artwork, but the animation looks sick. And as you can see, damage-wise, it's done a ridiculous amount. So that's why, as you can see there, I start charging straight away, because I want to try and get that power again. But obviously it's hard, right? Because you got to get lucky as well, I'd say. Because depending on if Frieza just attacks you straight away, you can get cooked with a combo and that as well. But, I don't know. Some of these bosses get a bit weird, I would say. Like, for example, I had one with Vegeta the other day, I think just in a normal battle. And he just stood there and just let me keep comboing him no matter what. So, I think sometimes the bosses do glitch out sometimes. But don't worry if that happens, you're not going to get banned, anything like that. It's just a thing that happens in the game, can't do anything about it. But yeah, as you can see, like, Frieza just sort of just stood there this match. Where the match before, like, he was attacking me left and right, I had to, like, dodge everything. But then it seemed like he was stunned most of it, which I'm not sure if that can happen or not. But yeah, it was fairly easy to do, that one. I think that's pretty much... Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is just the last cutscene here. I've seen a few people complain about this sort of, like, these cutscenes here, where they don't talk, it's just a free shot. But to me, it doesn't really bother me too much. Because the quality's still there, even though it's just like a shot. It's still, like, the quality's still there, that's the main thing to me. Like, they could have just made, like, just a normal drawing of, like, blurred picture. But they do put, like, effort into these still shots, which I really like. See, like there, like, even though it's like, you know, it's still shot, you still have, like, the little aura effects there. I think probably the only complaint I will say is we didn't get the frown face, I don't think. Did we? No, we didn't get the frown face. That's probably the only thing I don't like. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Yeah, because that's for you want to see more of these playthroughs, leave a like and comment down below what you're up to, or if you've got Sparking Zero, you know, what's your favourite thing about it. And yeah, because it's for you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.